What's up, everybody? It's Rhino Racing 4, and welcome back to part 2 of the NASCAR 2021 playoff predictions. So, in the last video, I went through all of the drivers and who would make the round of 12 and which 4 would be eliminated. Today, however, we're going to go to the drivers who, in my picks, have already made the round of 12, and we're going to say which ones are going to make the round of 8. So, I'm excited. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. I know last video went really long. I'm going to try to keep this one sort of abbreviated. Try not to go too long. I know the shorter the videos are, the more views, and as well as I know these ones here are going to be shorter because I have fewer drivers I'm dealing with the closer you get to the championship race. So let's go ahead and get started. The first driver I have locked into the round of 8 is Kyle Larson in the 5. I'm going to go ahead and, right before I explain why I think he's going to make it, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the 12 drivers already. You can already see them, but I'm just going to go through them. Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, and Kurt Busch have all made the round of 12 in my predictions. Kurt Busch being the last one there, he kind of just squeaks in. But the first driver that I have in, as I said, is the 5 of Kyle Larson. So in the round of 12, you have Las Vegas, Talladega, and Charlotte, the Charlotte Roval. So Las Vegas, why is that a pivotal track in this first round for Kyle Larson? He won at this track in the spring. So, I mean, he absolutely dominated that race. So, if Larson's going to win in the second round, I think it's definitely going to be at Las Vegas. If he's going to win the first round, I'm going to say he's going to win at Darlington. So, if he's going to win, I'm going to pick him for Darlington, and I'm going to pick him for Vegas. I really wasn't picking who was going to win each race. I might pick those later on, but maybe give you a little spoiler there. If I do make that video, end up predicting who will win each race. But Kyle Larson, I think he's going to win Darlington and Las Vegas. So he's going to win each of the first races in the first rounds. So he's going to be the first to lock in each round. So Talladega obviously is a kind of a thorn in the side for Kyle Larson. We really don't know what he's going to do at Talladega because we really didn't get to see him race because he blew an engine on lap 1 at the spring race. At the Daytona rather, in the Daytona 500, he finished, I believe, in the top 10. He got in a wreck on the last lap, but was able to limp across the finish line. And I cannot remember exactly where he finished in the Daytona race that just happened. I'm going to pull it up right quick for you guys so you can check where Kyle Larson finished. NASCAR takes a long time to open, so, but let's see here. Where did Kyle Larson finish? Kyle Larson finished in the wow, 20th position in an accident. So he got a DNF. He's coming. So a good finish and a bad finish at the super speedway tracks, I should say. So Talladega is sort of a wild card for Kyle Larson. And then the Roval, I know in 2018, Kyle Larson limped across the finish line, just barely making the round of 12 in 2018. In 2019, at the Charlotte Roval, Kyle Larson finished in the 13th position, so not bad, but not really good. So I think Kyle Larson, with the points that he's accumulated over the regular season, though, I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to have no problem making the round of 8. Las Vegas being the track where he can make the most points or potentially win. The next driver that I have making the round of 8 is William Byron. William Byron has really surprised me this year on how consistent he has been. Um, like I said yesterday, he is coming in as the 8th seed. And I am going to go ahead and pull up his statistics for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and see what his average finish has been in the last few races. So the last 5 finishes for William Byron, we're going back to New Hampshire on July 18th of this year, the race that Eric Almirola won. And William Byron finished in the 21st position, so not that great. He started off the year really well with that win at Homestead, Miami. He finished 6th at Watkins Glen, so a very good finish for William Byron there. And then we move on to the Indianapolis Road Course. He obviously got caught up in that curb wreck. He ended up finishing 33rd, so not a very good finish there. We move on to Michigan, the second to last regular season race. He finished runner-up there, so a really good run for him. And then at the regular season finale, William Byron finished in the... Let's see, where did William Byron finish? Having trouble finding his name right now. William Byron. Maybe just look for the number 24. Find it easier. So he finished in the 37th position. So sort of half and half for William Byron in the last 5 races. He has been really good this year, though, points-wise. He almost won the Talladega race in the spring, so that's where I think William Byron can show the most of his stuff, is at the super speedways. He finished very well in the 2019 Roval race, where he finished runner-up. I believe he might have finished a little lower than that. I think Alex Bowman got runner-up. But he finished in the top 5, I believe, at the Charlotte Roval race in 2019. Las Vegas this year he did well at, so I think William Byron is going to make it into the next round. Then we have the 9 of Chase Elliott. And Chase Elliott, like I said last night, Chase Elliott, I believe, is going to go on a hot streak here in the playoffs. A lot of people have been talking about how he only has 1 win. Or 2 wins, rather. He only has 2 wins in the regular season. Like, where did Chase Elliott go? He's not showing up. Okay, guess what? Chase Elliott entered the playoffs last year with 2 wins to his name. He went on to win 3 of the last 10 races in the playoffs. Or, really, 3 of the last 5 races. Because he won the Charlotte Roval, and then he won Martinsville and Phoenix. I think he's going to win the Charlotte Roval, and I think that's going to be his win to lock him in to the round of 8. So I think that's going to be Chase Elliott's win. I think he's going to do well. Going back to the first round, I think he's going to do well at Darlington. I think he's going to do well at Bristol. He's won at Talladega before, so we know he can win on a super speedway. But I think really his main time to shine is going to be at the Charlotte Roval once again. Go 3 in a row there at that track. So Chase Elliott, number 3 to make it in. And then number 4, we have another good super speedway racer. We have Ryan Blaney in the 12. Ryan Blaney obviously coming off 2 wins. I think he's going to catch a little bit of fire. I think the amount of hype that he's been given is a little much. He tends to build up a lot of hype and then not end up fulfilling everyone's expectations, if I could say it that way. It's unfortunate, but that's what happened. We know he was eliminated early last year in the round of 16. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to make the round of 8. At Talladega, obviously, he's won he won in 2019 in the playoffs in this race, and also won Talladega of 2020 in the regular season. So obviously, we know he knows how to win at Talladega. Looking at Las Vegas, though, however, Ryan Blaney finished 5th here in the spring. So obviously, I think Ryan Blaney's going to have another strong run at Las Vegas. The Charlotte Roval, I'm not so sure on the Charlotte Roval in terms of how Ryan Blaney is going to do at that track. I know he won in 2018 at that track, so we know he knows how to win at the track, but you also got to take in the fact that at the race that he won there, he was basically gifted the win. He was in 3rd and was just in the right place at the right time. He had a good run. He just wasn't going to win that race unless a miracle happened, and a miracle did happen. So in terms of 2020 at the Charlotte Roval, he finished 5th. So I think Ryan Blaney, if I had to be honest, I think Ryan Blaney is going to have a solid day at the Charlotte Roval. Not necessarily a win, but I think he's going to have a solid day at the Charlotte Roval. And then we're going to move on to the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. I think Martin Truex Jr. is going to make the next round. Talladega, I think, is going to be a huge thorn in their side. Talladega has not been very good to them in recent memory. Obviously, the Charlotte Roval being a road course, he's a good road course racer. I think he's going to have a solid day there. Las Vegas, I think, is going to be his time to shine, though. He won this race in 2019, the Las Vegas playoff race, and it advanced him to the next round. I think he's going to have a solid day there as well. Obviously, my pick for that win is Kyle Larson. I think Truex will have a solid run there. He's going to make it in on points, is how I'm going to put him there. So that's pretty much all I have to say for Martin Truex Jr. Kyle Busch, I think, is going to make the round of 8. Las Vegas, I think, is a track where, he might struggle because I think he is yet to win at... No, that was Kurt Busch. I'm sorry. I think Kyle Busch is going to do well at that track. Sorry, I got the Busch brothers mixed up there. Kurt Busch has struggled and got his first hometown win there. Kyle Busch, I think, though, is going to do well at Las Vegas. Talladega, obviously, is going to be another wild card. You just don't know how that's going to go. He crashed out in the last Talladega playoff race. And the Charlotte Roval, though, is where I'm going to be concerned. That's why I'm putting him lower in the advancement, because the Charlotte Roval has really not been kind to Kyle Busch. I know he finished 32nd in the 2018 race. He struggled in the 19 race and was eliminated last year and had a poor finish, being eliminated from the round of 12 last year. So I think he's really going to have to get it together at Las Vegas. But I think he's going to manage to get in, Kyle Busch. And then there's Denny Hamlin in the 11, Las Vegas. I think he's going to have a good run there. He ran there well last year. And in the playoff race, he ended up getting passed, I know, by Chase Elliott at one point for a stage win. Talladega, though, he's won the last Talladega playoff race last year. And then the Charlotte Roval, I think he's just going to have to, play the safe game and not try to get into any real damage. And I think Denny Hamlin knows quite well how to do that at the Roval. So I think Denny Hamlin's going to manage to squeak his way in. And then for the final spot in the round of 8, I am putting the 48 of Alex Bowman. Now, this was a really tough decision for me. I was really debating. You could have given it to Bowman. You could have given it to Keselowski, to Logano, to Kurt Busch. You could have given it to any of those. The reason I decided not to put the Penske drivers in there is because they have had recent struggles in the past 5 weeks. So really, they're not coming in with a lot of momentum. So I think they're going to point their way into the round of 12, but I think that's as far as their points are going to take them, being they only have 1 win apiece. So that's why I'm not putting the 2 Penske drivers in there. Kevin Harvick, I think, just with his 2021 struggles, he doesn't have any bonus points or anything for a cushion. So I think he's just going to squeak into the round of 12. But I think that's also, and unless a miracle happens at Las Vegas and he ends up winning, uh, he's not going to advance because he's has not been able to do well at the restrictor or the super speedway tracks. I know he finished fourth here, I believe, at the Talladega race earlier this year, but obviously we know super speedway tracks and final lap and then pain for Kevin Harvick fans, Daytona. So I just don't think he hasn't won at a super speedway track since 2010. So the likelihood of him winning at Talladega is really low. And then the Charlotte Roval, I know he finished third in 2019, but I think that's the last year he finished 11th. So he's going to have maybe a good finish at the Roval. He might end up squeaking through at Talladega, but I just unless he wins Las Vegas, I think that is his only shot of advancing to the round of 8 is if he locks himself in to be the first one in, and then he doesn't have to worry about pointing because there's no way he's really going to point into the round of 8. Unless he just finishes second or third for all 3 races, then maybe he might. But Kevin Harvick, no. Kurt Busch is really the one that I was gonna put in Bowman's spot, maybe, because Kurt Busch really, he's a sleeper pick for the title because he has over the past 6 races, he has had the 4th best average finish out of any driver, 8.67. So he has been on a tear lately. I just think that Alex Bowman, with the 3 wins and with Hendrick Motorsports being at the level they are, I think all 4 of their cars are going to be in the round of 8. Half of the cars in the round of 8 are going to be Hendrick Motorsports cars. And then 3 of them being Gibbs and 1 of them being Penske. So you really have the one lone Penske, and then it's Gibbs versus Hendrick in the round of 8. So there is your round of 8. For me, I hope this video was a little bit shorter. Checking the time, yeah, it's 17 minutes, a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna be quiet here. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for listening to me once again. And video 3 will be back, or will be presented, in which I will reveal the championship 4 and the championship driver pick from me, who will take home the trophy in Phoenix. So I hope you all enjoyed this predictions video, and thank you all for watching. It's been a pleasure predicting to you. Hope you all have a good rest of your day / night, and I will see you guys next time. This is Rhino Racing 4 signing off.